Throughout the history of mankind, the divine messages are often shrouded in mystery. Prophets, messiahs, or whichever names you call them, are often persecuted and oppressed, their words obscured. But how do we distinguish the true from the false? To do so, one can only rely on the divine's guidance, and the truth will reveal itself to those who earnestly seek it. During the past weeks, we've delved into Biden's empty promises that he's made as an untruthful leader, as foreseen by the English prophetess Mother Shipton almost 5 centuries ago.
The king shall false promise make, and talk just for talking's sake, and nations plan horrific war, the like as never seen before. And taxes rise and lively down, and nations wear perpetual frown.
Another so-called king that has a long history of broken promises is the leader of Russia, Vladimir Putin. In 2005, Putin promised that he would not raise the retirement age as long as he is president.
Я против увеличения сроков пенсионного возраста. И пока я президент, такого решения принято не будет.
But in 2018, Putin signed a pension law that raised the retirement age to 65 for men and 60 for women, while Russian men's average life expectancy is a mere 67 years.
Putin is a thief, they call out, because they're afraid for their pensions. Women are supposed to work 8 years longer, men 5 years. But life expectancy isn't that high in Russia. Only 67.5 years for men, according to the Moscow School of Economics. About 1/6 of men don't even make it to the pension age. Complicating matters, many older workers can't find more work. More than 80% of Russians are opposed to the pension reform. In recent months, thousands have joined protests, and not just on the streets. 2.8 million people have signed an online petition.
Потом есть многие люди, у которых заболевания, которые физически не смогут работать, но им придется работать.
Мужчины живут в нашей стране недолго, а при повышении пенсионного возраста количество доживших резко сократится, я думаю.
Чтобы заработать на людях.
Putin also promised a fair salary and pension that would allow people to live a decent life.
Каждый работающий человек в России должен получать достойную заработную плату, в том числе накопить достаточно средств и для сохранения достигнутого уровня жизни после завершения трудовой деятельности. В то же время очень важно, чтобы сегодняшние пенсионеры и инвалиды, не имеющие таких возможностей, получали достойные пенсии и пособия.
But poverty is ever growing in Russia. Many people don't receive enough salary to make a living. For example, even doctors earn only about $350 a month. And while a significant portion of the population doesn't live to the age of retirement, even if they make it to receive a pension, life isn't any easier for Russian citizens. With an average monthly pension of only about $210, many still have to work to meet their living costs.
Когда в 2013 году я начинала работать, как раз тогда обещали, что будут большие зарплаты, там 60-50 тысяч. 6 лет прошло, указы должны быть выполнены, но они не выполнены.
Моя пенсия составляет 11 тысяч рублей. Так вот, наши российские пенсионеры. Конечно, на эту пенсию реально прожить невозможно, на 11 тысяч. Поэтому приходится работать. И работать придется, похоже, пока совсем не смогу ходить.
О, какой кондиционер! Пенсия 10 тысяч.
О, пенсия 10 тысяч.
Много. И еще субсидия. Субсидия сколько? 2?
Пенсия сейчас?
А?
Сколько пенсия-то у вас?
У меня 16 копеек.
16 тысяч, да?
Всю жизнь на заводе отработала. Вот, 2 детей, в термичке работает, 17 тысяч. 17 лет.
Взрослые ребята.
17-й год и 5 лет. Вот такие ребята. Все время получал 50, а вот с этого лета посадили. Хочешь увольняйся, как предлагаю, хочешь работай теперь. А вот поэтому бабушка на даче лето сидит.
Я пенсионерка, у меня пенсия там 15 с хвостиком.
Ну, что я могу сказать? Ну, он смеется над нами и все. Это нищая жизнь.
I am 88 years old and still have to work part-time.
Today, almost 21 million people live below the poverty line in Russia. Their income is below the subsistence level, that is 13,000 rubles, almost $214. According to Federal State Statistics Service of Russia, over the past few years, this figure has increased by 14%. Also, more than half of Russians have incomes below 25,000 rubles a month. It's $400. At the same time, the report of the Swiss bank Credit Suisse indicates that 1% of Russians owns 60% of all national wealth, and their well-being is constantly growing.
People are sent on unpaid leave. People start getting less or none at all. However, they are listed as employed. Therefore, the number of poor people will only increase. In addition, the increase in their social payments to the budget is insignificant.
Meanwhile, Putin, his family and allies are reportedly enjoying a lavish lifestyle and are among the wealthiest people on Earth. Officially, Putin portrays himself as a frugal man, but this doesn't match his actual lifestyle. According to a report, one of his toilet brushes costs $850. As we just saw, this is more than double the amount of a doctor's monthly salary, and considerably more money than the monthly wage or pension of most citizens in Russia.
How rich is Vladimir Putin? Here's what the official records say. Putin's annual salary is $140,000. His assets include one apartment, one trailer, and 3 cars. Modest, simple, frugal. Well, not so fast. Unofficially, Putin could be a billionaire. According to one report, he could be the richest person on earth. His net worth, almost $200 billion. Take a look at his assets. A mansion on the Black Sea worth $1 billion. It's got a casino, a nightclub, the whole shebang. The sofas are worth $500,000. The bar table worth $54,000. Even the washrooms are minted. It's got toilet brushes worth $850. Paper rolls worth $1,200. Imagine maintaining a property of this scale. Well, you don't have to imagine because we've got the numbers. $2 million and 40 employees. That's what it takes to maintain this mansion. And that's where Putin allegedly holidays. But how does he get there? He can choose from this exhaustive list: 58 aircraft, 700 cars, or perhaps the $100 million super yacht. Vladimir Putin is spoiled for choice.
As president of Russia, Putin's official residence is the Moscow Kremlin. However, he spends most of his time at a suburban government residence outside of the city called Novo-Ogarovyo. On top of that, he reportedly has access to 20 different palaces and villas. Of the 20 state residences that Putin had access to, 9 were built during his tenure as president. On top of that, Putin was also accused of owning 58 different types of aircraft, including a Dassault Falcon, which seats 19. One of his planes was said to have an $11 million cabin fitted out by jewelers, and that the toilet cost close to $100,000. This plane has room for up to 186 passengers. Putin is accused of owning 5 of these. Putin has a collection of 4 yachts, each costing thousands of dollars to maintain. Putin has been photographed wearing a number of expensive wristwatches, collectively valued at $700,000, nearly 6 times his annual salary. Putin has a stylist who's been dressing him for over 10 years. The stylist rips off all the labels from his clothes, so these do not accidentally catch the eye of journalists or paparazzi. Despite this, he was seen with a Loro Piani sweatpants that cost $1,425. Putin teamed this with a matching top, making the outfit cost $3,200 in total, which, once more, is pocket money for Vladimir Putin. Anyway, despite Putin's best efforts to conceal his billionaire fortune, there are many who have estimated him to be even richer than Jeff Bezos, and thus even richer than Donald Trump or other world leaders that compete for the position.
It is no wonder that the nation wears a perpetual frown, just like Mother Shipton prophesied, with money being kept from deserving citizens whose lives could be changed with higher wages and pensions. We will look further into Putin's rule through the lens of Mother Shipton's prophecy in our next episode.